What is going on, everyone? My name is Boy, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, sporting in the right side of the map, playing as Loki in the blue color from the DoD clan. His name is Shelty. In the left side of the map, in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Pisco World Eater. We will be referring to him as Matt throughout the video. That's what I've been told his name is, and that's what we're going for. Shelty is currently up 1-0 in this best of 5 series in the RTS Sanctuary Christmas Tournament semi-finals. The winner of this goes on to the finals to play the winner of Joe and Brickhead. Very excited to see those two matches. Loki versus Uranus not Uranus, Poseidon. Loki versus Poseidon on this map. Very interesting matchup, to be sure. It's one of those matchups that is being played time and time again on Nilla. It's been here since 2002. Poseidon's very, very strong god. Loki's very, very strong god. Neither of them have ever been classified as tier 1 gods. However, the difference between a tier 1 and a tier 2 god's never been that huge. They're both super strong, and I'm really interested to see what these guys come up with. Generally, you're going to see a Loki player go for a semi-fast heroic on this map because gold mines are always really difficult to secure, and you can easily win the matchup with a really good timing on flaming weapons plus Hersa, because you get so many myth unit spawns from those Hersa. However, against Poseidon, you can't just do that because they have access to Hermes, and Hermes essentially means no flaming weapons unless you use Fimple Winter. So that means for Loki to do that sort of timing push to push off a gold mine, you need to go semi-fast mythic, which means you've got at least until 12 minutes, if not longer. And it's also Oasis, so it's low. It's generally low hunt. You can see there are only 2 giraffes on here, so getting that semi-fast heroic is going to be pushed even further back. Even if you get all the goats, still difficult to get there. So we're gonna have to see something different here from Shelty. I'd really love to see some sort of Heimdall play or something like that. We are seeing some goat getting picked up here for Shelty. Generally, I like to see a double Ulfsark as Norse on Oasis, just because you want to find as many goat as possible, just to give you as much economy as you can possibly have. This villager does not want to kill that zebra. It's way too far away. And there we go. Nice little micro there by Shelty. That zebra will walk back at some point and is going to be totally fine. Yes, so interesting to see what Shelty actually comes up with here. Matt, on the other hand, playing Poseidon, it's pretty simple. You don't want to go fast second town center generally because Loki can put too much pressure on you with Hersa. It takes too long to get going. So you want to simply play Nilla style and go Hippocon, Toxito. Maybe you can go Ares, but Ares is difficult and you have to put so much pressure on, and you forgo the fact that you can nullify flaming weapons. So generally, Hermes is the way to go with Hippocon, Toxito, and just play super, super aggressive, force Loki to fight you in the classical age, and then you can just simply get to that mythic age before him and then do really, really strong things with that Greek late game. If we jump over to what Matt is doing, it looks like he's going to be advancing a little bit. Oh no, it looks like he is going for that 430, so he should be able to advance when this temple is built. Get up at the 4 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe 4 minutes 45, depending on if he gets that Theseus out or not. And we're going to jump over to Shelty's perspective. Shelty's got the food to advance. He's getting that temple up. His zebra, unfortunately, did spawn poorly or didn't move back. Generally, they move back. And one gatherer here is going to be doing a bunch of nothing, which is a bit sad. Definitely could get him to chop some wood, which is what is going on there. Nice little decision there by Shelty. Going to finish off that zebra. Going to go through Forseti. Absolutely standard. Going to be starting to build some of those temples. You want to get this gold mine as protected as possible. 2 sentry towers is here. It's going to be completely, totally enough. Don't have to be worried too much about any Ares play because you can just get that watchtower while your units are getting stuck in there. And you just build some long houses around here to stop that. If we jump back over to Matt's perspective, he's going through Hermes. He did not get that Theseus out, and he's just playing standard, it looks like. Oh, no. That's too many villages on wood, too many villages on gold. So it looks like he is going for that second town center. So he's going to get taken. So he is going for that greedy play. I said it was bad. not necessarily, it might be fine, I could be wrong, but I just think that Loki can put way too much pressure on you, and he can tech so fast if you go that way, and you have to deal with, even though you've got stronger economy, you have to deal with Loki myth unit spawns and all that stuff with just two heroes in the classical age while he's jumping mythic age or you know, whatever. So we'll see if that's actually what's going on here. It looks like, yep. Matt's going for a forward town center there, protecting his food here, getting those berries protected, grabbing this town center, jumping over to Shelty's perspective. Shelty's looks like he might be, no, Shelty's not going for that second town center, he's grabbing that longhouse, he's got the temple, he's going to be sending these Hersa around. He could potentially go for a second town center a little bit later once he has some more Hersa, but I think that 300 wood comes in a little bit later. He's spamming dwarves at the moment. Generally you want to get 10 dwarves before you can start going elsewhere. That way you can just basically pump dwarves in the classical age and it doesn't matter, and you just have so many villages without any stoppage there, because you can't, it's fine, it's just how the economy works. Anyways, that town center now going up for Matt. He's got his Theseus out, he's got his Hippolyta out, he's grabbing this relic, which is the Trojan Gate Hinge. You're not going to help him too much. It does give your walls a little bit more hit points, but it's not too useful. Odin's Wand though for Shelty is quite nice, allows him to get that Hall of Thanes for 240 wood. Always nice for him. That means he probably could go for that fast second town center if he so chooses, and it looks like he is. So I might just be, I'm not sure, maybe he's not. I can't read this at all. I'm really hoping he doesn't, because I feel like staying one town center is actually better for Loki. You jump the ages and you put the pressure on instead of trying to combat your opponent's economy with your own economy. Anyways, we do see a stable up for Matt at this point, grabbing those Hippocon. I reckon you want to start building from more than one military building at this point. You've got 4 villages for 1 villager worth of training on food, so you get 8 villages of training on food. Then you've got 4 villages extra for that 1 Hippocon. You can probably afford 2 Hippocon, but you need a lot of gold, so it's not quite going to be there. But you can start to afford Toxotope very, very quickly on top of that. So you want to start putting, there we go, the archery range comes up as soon as you can afford it. Chuck that archery range up, get those Toxotope coming. You're a little bit behind on the army at the moment, so you're not going to be wanting to fight. Shelty's going to be looking for places to bash through, so you should come over here, knock down this wall, and start harassing this wood line and this gold mine as soon as possible, and also potentially grabbing this granary. He's definitely looking to jump through this location here, but he's not going to be able to. Nice walls there already set up by Matt. I'm interested to see if he does actually try to knock this down or not. So he's going to move in here, and it looks like, yep, he's going to be knocking this down. That wall takes so much damage on that first hit. I think it's because it's attached to a gate. You can actually abuse that a little bit. You don't actually gather any favor from knocking down a wall though, but you definitely do enough damage to kill that wall off with only those 2 villages there. And we do see some more Hersa coming over here. Toxoto going to come over and defend. We are seeing the army of Matt moving over here to defend against this wall. He should be able to push this off here, get these guys to come through, and we are seeing a spy getting cast on that Hippolyta. I like that. It's very, very good. Definitely want to dump that relic in there so you can abuse your walls a little bit more. So being able to spy that Hippolyta basically means you can see where your enemy's army is. You're never going to get caught out. Also, if you see the Hippolyta sitting around without any Hippocon, generally means you're about to get hit by a raid or something like that. So you can be very on top of that. We do see that these Hersa are going to come in again. What I wouldn't mind seeing is a Hersa knocking on this wooden wall as well, so that goes down even faster over 2 sides. We are seeing a little bit of a multi-raid coming in here. These Hersa taking a little bit of damage, but nothing too severe. So Shelty just going to have to defend here. He's sitting at enough resources to grab that second town center. Potentially not going to be doing that though, just going to be using that wood income to be grabbing the basically grab Hall of Thanes. I don't think he's got that just yet. Yeah, no, he does have Hall of Fame, so he just needs to get some farms out, and he's going to be getting that armory out. He does have chicken here as well, but there are, what is it, only 4? 4 chicken? Yeah, it looks like there's only 4 chicken here, so that's not a lot of food. So he's going to have to probably throw up, oh no, he's got enough berries. He's probably going to be able to get to that heroic age without casting, or without having to build farms. So farm's going to come in later. That wood income's a little bit excessive, but he can chuck up a couple more barracks. He's got that armory up. Does chuck it up in a very aggressive position though, meaning he does have line of sight of this gold mine. So really at this point in time, it's a little bit of the old, how does Shelty abuse the fact that this gold mine is the only gold mine that Matt can grab? There's a gold mine back here actually, so that's not even a concern there for Matt. So Matt can just play very, very defensively at this point. He's moving a bunch of villagers from that food over to gold, a bunch of villagers onto wood. If we jump over to Matt's perspective, he is not close to that heroic age at all. He's going to be pumping villagers on to food at this point. He's only got those 2 military buildings, chucking up that third one at this point. He's sitting at 74 population to Shelty's 79 population. But Shelty's going to be going through Bragi, I assume. Yep, Bragi is the god of choice there, and he's going to be moving a bunch of villagers over to gold so that he can afford to spam those battle bore. I generally would not be surprised if Shelty just goes straight to that mythic age. That being said though, the similar situation I was talking to about Shelty being able to gold starve Matt is going to be completely in the reverse at this point. But holy, nice pick off here from Shelty, picking off all those units. That is huge. Unfortunately, Matt was not paying attention. He's going to lose all those Toxoto and the rest of his army. If you're the Greek player, it's something I keep saying. If you're the Greek player and you're going fast take two town centers, you just can't leave until you got full pop. Your army is a ball. It's basically a Protoss army. You don't want to fight your opponent unless you're full population. Basically, against Norse, against Egypt, and against Atlantean, Greek's army is only strong when it's very upgraded and or early in the game when you're putting pressure on. If you're fast second town center, just don't leave the base. You just lost too many units there. Now Shelty's completely fine. That gold mine is not under threat at all. We do see that medium hit gods coming through, and Shelty's Bragi is almost there. Matt, on the other hand, is now going to have to keep spamming from these buildings. I wouldn't mind seeing him just transition away from those Hippicon and just build a bunch of Toxoto and walls. We are seeing a hill fort going up right in the face of Matt. This is probably not going to work. That does get picked off, and that's a couple of resources that Shelty's going to lose there, unfortunately for him. But in that Bragi at the moment, going to be putting on a bunch of pressure here. This fight is not going to go in the favor of Matt, so he's going to have to get out of there as best as he can. He's got that town center fire though, so that's going to do very well. There's no PS upgrades for Shelty. He does get a nice Iron Hajar spawn, which is huge. Means that those Hursa get bonus attack, which means bonus favor, which means more myth unit spawns. He is also sitting at just below full population, so he can get those myth unit spawns. We do see a battle ball coming in now. Shelty's going to start producing those battle ball from his town center, from his temple on auto queue. We are seeing that Hippolyta is going to be doing work on that battle ball, taking 30 damage a shot there. And now, basically, I think Shelty needs to get out of there at this point. He's sitting at 10 Hursa. It's not looking too great for him on that pressure, so he's going to have to retreat. Shelty's sitting at 900 wood. You need to take some of those wood villages off or spend some of that wood. Generally, you want to be keeping your resources below 200 unless you're setting up for something, and I guarantee you there's nothing in the Heroic Age that costs 900 wood. We're going to see these units retreating at this point. I think potentially Shelty has the option of either going 4 town centers, grabbing this town center, this town center, and this town center, because he does kind of have advantage here. But looks like he's going to be chucking down that market, potentially going to be trading some of that wood for gold and trading some of that gold for food in order to get to that Heroic Age, that Mythic Age, but alas, nope, going to be chucking down those farms at this point. Market is up now, so he can purchase wood in order to build farms, so his economy is going to still be pretty strong, going to keep kicking ass as he goes through there, and we're still seeing Hursa getting produced. No change in army composition there, so Matt actually sitting in a pretty good position now, and he's chuck up 2 more houses and get to that Heroic Age. He's chucking that armory up, and those houses are going up, so that's good, and he does have quite a few villagers on that food. If I was Matt at this point, I would be taking villagers off. I would not be continuously building villages at this point. This is why you stay in the classical age a little bit longer than you want to. You want to stop these once you hit a certain point, especially when you're trying to get to that next stage. You stopped your Hippicon, so why not stop your economy? And then you restart it. It's one of those things that we teach new players to do. Auto queue your villages at all times so that your economy can keep growing. But at this point, if he'd stopped those village production, which he does finally do, he's going to be able to get up a little bit earlier than otherwise, and you want to get that happening, and then he's going to start the village production again, I assume. But he could have stopped it maybe a minute ago and in advance, maybe 15 seconds to half a minute earlier, with pretty much the same economy at this point right now. Seeing those archery ranges going up as well, chucking up the military academies. You want to get, oh, this is not good. Again, moving these army out Not what you want to do. We are seeing that Shelty is attempting to stop that, but Matt's pulling back into this corner. Probably would have been forced a building to get deleted if he chose to actually fight there, Shelty, but he was not to know. Military Barracks Academy coming up now for Matt. Need to get those Hypaspis coming in. We are seeing battle balls moving in now, going to be breaking this wall down, attempting to put some damage onto this town center. It's very difficult for Greek to defend against battle ball raids. Battle ball raids, basically town center raids. You have to send all your heroes over here. Aphrodite is coming through though, so once he gets that Atlanta out, Atlanta's super strong. He does have resources to do so, and it looks like he's gearing up to go to that Mythic Age. So you can build that, basically build that Atlanta, get the market, and then get to that Mythic Age straight away, which could be very strong. Definitely want to go through Hephaestus instead of anything else. That town center is not going to go up. There's no chance that that's going to happen at all. So he's going to move over here, clean up these battle ball. But as that happens, Shelty can now move in free of charge here with his other myth units and start picking off what Matt has. So Matt's got the defensive. He's on the defensive at this point. These battle ball are going to get picked off. We do see that Atlanta does get built, and that market should be up. Market is getting built and the resources are there, so he's going to be able to advance to that Mythic Age. Jumping over to Shelty's perspective, they're going to hit at hell super early. I'm surprised he's not going through Fimbulwinter. Fimbulwinter plus Bragi can really destroy one of these locations if you get a good wolf spawn. However, choosing not to do that, those battle balls going to get picked off. Moving these battle ball back into this fight, going to force these heroes to move back over to the fight over here, but looks like heroes moving in, so this is not going to go too well for Shelty. The nice little Einhajar spawn there. Einhajar, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm probably saying it wrong. Anyways, Nidhogg going to get cast on this location here. Now we're going to see the army do significant damage. We don't see that many building production units for Shelty though, so he does not want to lose units. So basically, if you would kind of want to ignore the Nidhogg at this point, if you knew this, if you were Matt and you knew this, and just pick off all the Herso. This town center is going to be taking a lot of heat. Does not have a Mason, so it doesn't have that extra building protection. The Nidhogg going to move in now, going to attempt to pick off these Toxoto. Hippolyta doing a significant amount of damage, going to move this Nidhogg in to pick off all of those villages. Herso moving in now. This town center looks like it's going to be falling, but back town center going to be grabbed. If we jump over to Pisco's perspective, he's going through Artemis. I don't like the Artemis choice. Artemis not going to do all too much. I guess you could move in and earthquake all the houses and the military buildings, so it could be huge. And he does have a Pegasus here, so he could do that. We are seeing Fire Giants moving in now. And this is it's actually looking pretty good from that at this point in time. This army looks like it's going to get picked off. The Hippolyta does get picked off, but you can just rebuild that one straight away. Definitely don't want to be grabbing him from this town center just in case it falls. But it looks like it's probably going to be okay. We are seeing these Hypaspis move in here. Going to be trying to pick off all of these Ursa. 2 Fire Giants in here. Valkyrie, a bunch of Frost Giants. It does so much damage. We are seeing that Earthquake is here now with Artemis, and we are seeing a Chimera come out now. I want to send that Chimera right over here to this location, pick off all those villages and those battle balls, stopping that town center from going up. We are seeing a Polyphemus coming through now. He's going to be doing so much damage. That Nidhogg again getting targeted. Oh no, looking at the target is the Fire Giant, it looks like. I'm not sure about that one. Can't use Curse. Curse not going to be any good in this matchup because only Hersa are getting produced. So many units here for Shelty. We do see that Earthquake did gigantic damage to the town center, but none of these houses got hit, so that's pretty good for Shelty. Shelty's sitting at 100 population at this moment, so he's actually going to be fine with that. It's going to be able to rebuild those houses with the Herso and then rebuild everything else. We are seeing a nice Chimera coming in here and those villagers moving through here. So all of these dwarves are going to take so much damage. It's going to be huge. We are seeing flaming weapons. It does get cast. Going to be trading town centers at this point. We can send a bunch of villagers over here to grab this town center and grab this town center. So it's going to be 3 town centers versus 3 town centers, except this town centers are right in the building path of all of the military buildings. Pisco or Matt, he's got quite a few resources. His economy is okay. However, this is the only gold mine he really has, as well as this gold. Oh, he's got a back gold mine, so that's 1,000 gold in his base. So that could be cool. This Nidhogg's going to do a bunch of damage to these villages, though. This Chimera is going to do a bunch of damage to these villages, though. So really, Shelty needs to send over a couple of these Herso over here to pick off this Chimera, and basically looks like Matt needs to think about getting some more of those archers to finish off that Nidhogg. It's really difficult for Greek to pick off a Nidhogg just because they've only got that one archer hero. Town Center going up for Shelty on both locations. We saw a couple of those villages got changes to Ulfsar, going to be rebuilding that one. And we're going to see these dwarves getting moved over to this location here. And the Chimera is following them. So if he gets a nice Fire Breath, you want to click right next to him and then use that Fire Breath. You don't want to use him too far away because then he won't do, well, I guess he does do quite a bit of damage there. That's crazy. And we do see that Town Center was not grabbed there for Pisco. So Pisco's happy sitting on that 2 Town Centers, and we are seeing another fight moving in here. A bunch of units fighting here. A couple of those high pacifists need to get those ones focus firing straight away. That Hippolyta is still not doing all too much. Nidhogg is picking off a couple of units in his back location. Frost Giant going to be trying to pick off that Chimera. I believe he does win 1 versus 1 with his frost special ability, so he keeps on frosting that. He's gonna unfrost, do a little bit of damage, and then get frosted again. So that's gonna be nice for him there. This fight again looks like it's going a little bit in the favor of Matt, just because he's kind of got the defender's advantage, even though there's Town Center fire going on here. I do like that this has already been refocused. This Town Center would normally focus fire a building straight away, and then you have to refocus that one onto the Town Center. Matt needs to think about grabbing out that fortress in order to do some real damage, and basically he needs to get out. He basically really needs to get out one of those, basically all the rest of his heroes. He's only got that 1 Town Center really producing anything though. 1 Town Center here. He could get some heroes out of this location as well, but really just need to get all your heroes out and keep them coming. He's only got the 2, it doesn't even have Hippolyta anymore, so this, well, no, he's got the 3 heroes, doesn't have Hippolyta though, so this Nidhogg is going to keep raining terror onto Pisco. Pisco not really producing units that fast either, so that's not too great there. Not producing any of those Toxoto either, so basically Shelty just going to be able to tear through this location. That's not the end of the game though for Matt. Matt can retreat. These buildings take a while to get destroyed, and they get a little bit of that spawn of what do you call them, militia, so he can help out a little bit with those militia. What Matt should be trying to do here is start building up on this location, and well, I mean, Nidhogg's coming in over here already, so Shelty's way ahead of that, but Matt needs to rebuild his military buildings in another location. He's got 400 wood to do so that's 4 military buildings he can get up. However, there's just too many villages here, not going to be gathering gold for so long. I think Matt should have just moved back onto this gold mine if he wanted to win basically wanted to stay alive there. He's going to be building a Hippolyta in this location, so he's going to be able to pick off that Nidhogg with that Hippolyta if he shields there, but just going to move that Nidhogg away when Hippolyta comes out. All those villages taking a significant amount of damage. These Fire Giants could throw their special attack and really rain terror on them. Fire Giant special attack is one of those kind of memey attacks. Doesn't really do a lot of damage so much, but if you get it cast in the right location, you can kill off so many villages or so many Toxoto. Anyways, we are seeing Shelty. He's pushing through now. I think Shelty should think about grabbing the 2nd Town Center at this point. His economy is sitting pretty strong. He does have resources to grab it. Just send one of these Hersa over here, grab the Town Center. He is only sitting at the 111 population though, but I think that is good enough to keep going here. So Matt going to be retreating now. He's lost his Polyphemus. Polyphemus such a unfortunately weak unit there. If that was a Bellerophon, these Fire Giants would be really under some duress. I'd love to see Shelty build a hill fort as well, get some of those Ballaster out. He's got so many Fire Giants. When you have Fire Giants and Ballaster, it's just so strong. Anyways, we are seeing Nidhogg move in at this point. He has got attacked by that Hippolyta, losing about 300 HP there, but he's just going to be retreating and then chilling around here a little bit, trying to prevent these villages from gold mining. Is going to run out of this gold soon, sitting at 4,000. Actually, 4,000 gold heaps. So it's got a couple more minutes on that one. Town Center's going to be falling though. There's no real heroes out at this point for Matt to deal with all of what Shelty has. So Matt is going to be losing this Town Center, and that's pretty dire there. Though Matt does still have 2 Town Centers at the back, he's not going to have any food income because all of his farms here, 28 farms without any protection. That means no more villages get produced. I should rebuild the farms over here. There is still a bunch of action going over here. This Herso moving in, going to be trying to pick off the Hippolyta there. However, Bisco decides to tap out, says GG. Just too many myth units for a Greek to handle there. I think his strategy was not correct as well. Grabbing that 2nd Town Center so early just means you can't put any pressure onto Loki, and Loki's early game is kind of where he struggles, and if you can, and Greek's early game is actually quite strong. It's like it's kind of been forgotten how strong Greek's early game is just because of the two town center play, and as soon as you go two town center, your early game becomes terrible. So. Unfortunately, maybe even then, like Matt probably could have kept his army alive a little bit longer. He got caught out. He got a little bit overzealous, moved his army out to pick off some of the buildings that Shelty had put there, and then Shelty managed to pick off a couple of units there for free. So he did really nicely, but I think Matt definitely sitting on one town center would have been a better choice, going stable archery range, putting lots of pressure onto his opponent early in the game, and just doing some multi-raids, picking off the food, picking off this location here so there was no berries to get grabbed, forcing Shelty to play at a different pace that he's used to would have been much preferable. However, Matt goes for that fast second town center, gets punished by Shelty. Shelty played really, really well, going for that very early Mythic Age, like I said, but going through Hell, not going through Fimbulwinter. Tear. Fimbulwinter would have been really interesting to see the Flaming Weapons and Fimbulwinter get used. However, using that Flaming Weapons as basically a siege flyer to grab the fort town center, managed to secure this location where all the military buildings were. So basically, Matt was producing military units into town center fire. So it was pretty bad there, and Shelty's army was just so strong. Still just like no armory upgrades either. It's just the raw might of Loki doing incredible damage there. Anyways, 2-0 for Shelty. We'll wait and see what happens in the next game. Hopefully, Matt can force a game number 4, and we'll see what happens there. My name is Boyd. If you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, and subscribe to that notification bell if you want to see my stuff as soon as it comes out. And I'm going to see you guys next time.